all you sports fans out there and around the great state of Michigan, and welcome to a sports show with just a little pinch of comedy, and this is the Hot Seat Sports Talk. As we can see, I'm back, but Eric's gone, so...
They flip-flop.
Yeah, that flu's quite a bugger this year. So, before we get started, it's not on our sheets here. You guys didn't address, but I want to address it. From all of us here on the Hot Seat, our thoughts, our prayers go out to the people of Parkland, Florida, and that horrific shooting about a week and 2 days ago. Reason I bring it up the sports league is one of the 17 lives lost that day was a swimmer, and he had a full ride to Indianapolis. So it's horrible to think about. So our thoughts and our prayers go out to all the families, victims, and the community of Parkland, Florida. So, and with that, let's get rolling with the show today. Headlines, all hail the new Big Ten champions, the Michigan State Spartans. Finally, all right, they're getting something going. It's not, regular season doesn't mean anything. It's when the tournament comes, that's when it counts, because that determines the overall seedings for the tournament, which is coming up pretty soon. Next week is the Big Ten tournament, so all the conference tournaments. So it should be interesting without a doubt. I think State. It depends. It depends on who State meets in the finals if they can win the Big Ten tournament. If they play Ohio State, they'll win it. Purdue, it's a toss-up.
I feel like they can beat Purdue again, though. I feel like they'll get a more. They're gonna look back at their tapes, obviously, what happened, because didn't they only win by like a 3-pointer at like the last seconds?
Bridges hit a go-ahead three with like 2 seconds left.
I feel like though once both teams watch the tape, they'll know like what to do, and then once like the game starts, we'll decide who a clear factor is.
I mean, Michigan's a sleeper, Maryland's a sleeper in that tournament as always, but
Big Ten has sleepers all around. It's just their Big Ten record may not be the best, but they had
yeah,
pretty solid seasons.
Big Ten stacked this year.
Pretty much.
And they said Michigan State was going to go 18-0 in the Big Ten because the Big Ten stunk. That's what they thought in the beginning of the year, but now look at it.
The Big Ten is the best conference in basketball right now, so.
Wow.
You sure not the Big 12 where Texas is at, or no?
Big Conference 12
true to
bad.
Michigan.
The All-Star game was, the NBA All-Star game was this past weekend. What to make of it? I didn't like, I liked the way and the competitiveness that it was.
You like how the game was, but you didn't like how the teams were made.
Right. If it was East and West,
I'm
an old school guy. I like East and West. I do. I like East and West. One of my favorite All-Stars right here. It's just, I liked how competitive it was. I watched the end of it.
Defense.
Defensive play won an All-Star game. That doesn't happen all the time. So, I still like East and West, but it's all money in that league. So whatever gets profits up for the league, TV ratings, jersey sales, etc. I think the league's going to keep it for a long time.
I think so too. I think it was pretty successful, especially next year if they decide to televise the NBA All-Star Draft. I feel like that'd be either comedy or just amazing quality.
We discussed this earlier in the week. Do you think that every city should be represented in the All-Star game, either in the skills, dunk, three-pointer, and in the All-Star game? Either one of the four.
If you put it that way, then yeah. But the All-Star game, where they play the game, I don't think so. I think
not the game. It's not the game itself. It's just the All-Star weekend. Every city should be represented.
When it comes to me, though, the whole point of being an All-Star is being the best of the best. Some teams may not have players that are the best of the best. Who would you think of the Lakers would go to the All-Star to do those?
Oh my God.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
Kyle Kuzma, KCP.
KCP. I'm just saying.
KCP.
It'd be very cool if that happened because of all the All-Stars, but I'm just saying, when it comes to me, I just think it has to be the best of the best throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but there could be a solid argument made what you're saying. Definitely in the future, that could maybe happen, but...
Well, it was a sad day for Tampa Bay fans. They cut Doug Martin only because the salary cap hit for him was going to be over $6 million this year. Well, it's a good cut.
I mean, he just didn't have a good season overall, too.
He's only had 2 good years,
Yeah.
2012 and 15.
Do you think he'll bounce back on a different team? And if
Yeah.
so, which team?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Why Cleveland, Ben?
Because they suck, so they need
Oh.
somebody.
Oh, right.
All-star analysis right here.
Am I wrong, though?
Well,
You're
They
not
could
wrong.
use
You're not
someone like
wrong.
him.
well, that's true. Yeah, I know.
Well, you're
you-
not
What if they
wrong,
get a
but I'm just-
Saquon, though?
Yeah, I mean, you're
They're
not
not.
wrong, but it's the fact that,
Like, what team do you think he'd best fit?
honestly, Detroit,
Well, I mean,
honestly, he benefited in Detroit, not as a starter. No, not
kind
as
of
a
like a Theo Riddick kind of role kind of guy. Not like
Yeah,
passing, but like
because
just
the
coming
Lions
in.
because the Lions plan on cutting all their backs except Riddick.
Really?
Either they're or
Breaking
cut,
news to me because I did not know that.
Either they're gonna cut Abdullah or trade him,
I mean,
and they're gonna sign. They're looking. Deion Lewis is their top man
wow,
right now.
that'd be
Rex
good for us.
Burkhead's another man, but now with Doug Martin on the out there, they could go and get him. I mean, he's not a pass catcher, but he's first
He's a
down,
powerhouse.
first and
He
second
could be a
down back.
powerhouse. Definitely.
He's
He
not a
could
third down back, but
He's
a
definitely
first
good
or
at the goal
second
line.
down.
Definitely good at the goal line.
Yeah, he's
in
a
my
goal
opinion.
line back like Riddick and Zenner. So we'll see. We'll see where Doug goes as April comes and free agency starts. And same state, Miami puts the franchise tag on Jarvis Landry.
I overheard those.
Unnecessary.
I overheard other news though saying they put the tag on him so later on they can make a deal with him that could benefit him and the team long
I heard he
term.
gets like $16 million or something like that with this tag. He's not worth that.
I heard he didn't even want to be in Miami, so.
I mean, I guess we all heard
Well,
different
he's-
things. But
well,
do you agree or not agree that he's probably the best player on Miami's team?
Yes.
That's probably why they did it then. Cause
Yeah,
they
he's one
need
of their
someone
best.
else.
Yeah, he's one of the best, if not the best, on that team. But it's too much.
What do you think he would have been worth then?
I don't know.
10 million?
No, not even like
6 million?
I say about 8 or
Okay.
9 million.
I mean,
Not worth
look at
it.
our
Not
boy
worth-
Matt Stafford.
I mean, he's not like Demaryius Thomas or those guys that are worth that much. So, and to Pyeongchang, the Olympics, they're wrapping up. Team USA fell to the Czech Republic in men's hockey 3-2.
Defense. I said it the whole tournament. I mean, you obviously couldn't watch me at home, but every single game I watched, it was
That would be a
defense,
treat.
defense.
Mhm.
Like, because our offense definitely wasn't working. So if you want to win games, you got to play defense. You guys did not play defense. And you're so stupid, don't even know who the head coach is. They started the same goalie all 4 or 5 games. He didn't do nothing. He leads the KHL with shutouts with 9, but he didn't do nothing. Like, it was just defense. That's why we lost. That pretty much sums that up.
Pretty much.
So.
Well, with the anger came, joy and greatness.
Joy and pride, yes.
Yeah, USA women's hockey team defeat the powerhouse Canada 3-2 in a shootout. to win
I'm
the
so
gold.
happy they had to be Canada. Not that I have anything against Canadians, but it's just the rivalry.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
the rival because
I-
Canada's won 4 golds in a row in hockey, the women's. Well, if you look back all the way back 38 years ago, Miracle, the Russians won
Miracle,
4 in a
yes.
row. They won 4 in a row, and we beat them. So
I mean, we're just dethroning
just
the team. That's what
basic-
made it felt good about
it's
this win.
dethroning. It kind of would you say it's kind of like a miracle too,
No.
or not?
Not when it comes to this women's team, because this USA women's team were pretty dominant throughout all the games they played.
Oh yeah.
They're both even. So, I mean, the game could have went either way, but.
The fact in a shootout, I think so, because they were both like back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, the medal count for the U.S. is now up, at subpar.
I believe maybe 18 or 17 around there. What was
22.
I know.
I saw
20
22 this
For
morning.
medals.
Oh, this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, mine was 2 days. Yeah, he must be right.
Yeah,
Because
I
mine was a
saw.
couple
Yeah,
days
I
ago.
watched Sports Center this morning, and
We're
That's
still
good for
fourth.
us then.
We're like
Yeah.
4th or 5th. And then
Because I know Norway's up there. Oh,
we're
Norway.
1 behind Canada as of right now.
Okay.
That's
Medals.
right now. So, the NFL draft is approaching soon.
I'm excited for this draft.
The schedule comes out, but we'll talk about each schedule when the schedule comes out in April. But talk's been about Baker Mayfield. So they're saying like, where is he going to go? The quarterback carousel. Where do you think he's gonna end up?
According to the mock draft 2.0, he's projected to go to the New York Jets as the 6th pick.
Now that's funny because now on our sheets here. It says all the places Kirk can go.
And the
I
Jets.
read about Kirk going to New York that they're prepared to offer him the biggest contract in NFL history that will pave the way for contracts for the forever, guaranteeing him something over I think $150 million or something like that.
Like
for
he's
4
guaranteed
years.
91 in
91
2 years.
million.
In 2
So
years.
and we thought when Stafford had that contract, we're like, okay, that's going to be the pace setter.
But then Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Garoppolo
and
gets
then,
paid, and now Cousins is about to get paid. But I don't think he's going to go to the Jets.
I agree with you. I don't think he will either.
No, he's not going to the Jets. He's going to go to Denver.
Well, anything's
People are
possible.
petitioning in
Well,
Denver
it all
right now to get
depends.
Kirk on their team.
When it comes to this draft, it all depends on who those teams draft. Like, say the Jets do draft a Baker Mayfield. Well, Kirk Cousins isn't going to the Jets. Say they Broncos, they say they draft Sam Darnold, just a random name. Well, they're not going to probably get Kirk
Right.
Cousins either. So it all depends on this draft, on what Kirk Cousins may decide to.
Well, I mean, there's the other teams too, like that's Cleveland. There's Arizona. There's Minnesota.
Maybe even Jacksonville if they want him. So
And they're saying Jacksonville's his best bet because of the money and where the team currently is. Now, if I'm Kirk, you're looking at Denver. You got Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. You got C.J. Anderson behind you. You got a okay offensive line. You got a defense that's been pretty dominant the last few years. That team's ready to go. That team's ready to win. The only bad thing that they had was their quarterback situation the past couple of years with Simeon.
Brock
Brock
Osweiler.
Osweiler and Lynch. So Kirk to Denver is the number one place where he has to go.
I feel like that team would be super dominant. If they get Kirk Cousins? If they do improve a little more on their offensive line, just to make sure, and their defense was back to the way it was before, then I think that team would be unstoppable.
Well, because I met Kirk Cousins many years ago, and he's a down to earth, religious, good hearted man, and does he go to New York for the greater good and signing the pacemaker for all these other players and their contracts, or does he go for the people and go to Denver and make the people happy in Denver?
The argument can be made for any team, really. It all depends on what he wants and what's good for him and his family and his future in the NFL, his career.
Yeah.
That's all. And like I said, once it comes to this draft, I think everyone's going to get a better idea or insight on where he may or may not go.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we're going to be covering this when it happens or after it happens in April. So we'll be here. And back to basketball, Mark Cuban's under a lot.
The whole Dallas Mavericks is under a lot.
Yeah, the controversy over tanking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not good. Fined over $600,000 for that comment.
I mean, tanking's been a part of the NBA forever, but you don't publicly say that and even tell your players that. You could tell your players that.
Well, you don't tell Dirk Nowitzki that.
You
A man
probably
who's
wouldn't
been
tell Dirk.
Like Tim Duncan with
But
one team
you
forever.
definitely cannot tell the media that, though, because
All the
stuff like
media-
this would happen.
Well, the media just ate them and is still eating them alive right now because
Everything's a mess down there in Dallas.
Yeah, and speaking of mess in Dallas, Texas, there's a mess going on in San Antonio, Texas right now.
Oh, yes, there is.
The Kawhi conundrum.
That's pretty good.
Now, Popovich comes out. He says Kawhi. He's like, yeah. He said, I'll be surprised if Kawhi will come back this year. And then an hour and a half later, there's another report that says Kawhi is cleared to come back, but he's opting to sit out. He'll come back and play if he can manage the pain of the injury. Which sounds to me that the Spurs just lost their superstar.
This season?
For good.
For good.
They just lost. They lost Leonard. And that's why I said in previous shows, now that they just lost Leonard, LeBron James is now the Spurs' savior right now. He's the only one that could come in and save them. It's straight up because Kawhi's done. Kawhi's not going to – I don't think he's going to play for the Spurs again.
Where do you think he will play then? Any team?
Any team but San Antonio. It's weird that this happens because Tim Duncan never did that. Parker never did that. Ginobili never did that. Those guys sacrificed their salaries for Leonard, and he does this.
I mean,
it's not like him. He's turning into a player that we never would have believed that he would become. It's unfortunate.
How did this unfold to a leg injury though? I thought he had like a
It
disease in
all-
his
well,
leg.
You know,
he only
how
played
it
9
started.
games.
He knows how it started when Pachulia stepped on him in the conference finals last year. That's how he got injured, and the way that the Spurs injury team, the sports medicine team there is handling it, they're not handling it right. Like, they cleared him. He came back. He played 9 games. He re-injured it. He injured his shoulder. He's fed up with the way that they've been handling it.
But you don't think at all he'll come back next season to be on the Spurs again?
No,
Why not?
because
Well, why would you if you have all these injuries and they're not doing
and
nothing
they're,
about
and they're not helping you to heal.
It's not
to
the
heal
Spurs.
right.
It's like a doctor to a patient, though. They don't want to re-injure again. They don't want to risk anything. Maybe when it comes next year, he'll be
I know,
fully
like
healed.
he said, why would you want to play for a team? Because if you get hurt again, you have to go back to that same staff.
Can that
That's
happen
gonna
to
not. That's
anybody?
not gonna help you.
So how would you feel if this happened to, say, I don't know, Andre Drummond of the Pistons? They want to have precautionary time, like, I don't know, make sure he
Well,
doesn't play the whole season just so he
what-
doesn't get injured again.
Funny you say the Pistons, because look how they're handling Reggie Jackson right now. I mean, he's been out for so long with an injury that we thought that wasn't a big deal, like Leonard's, and they're rehabbing him correctly. He's been cleared for light running, and he's been shooting very lightly in practice. So it's taken him a long time for him to come back, unlike Leonard, who they rushed back in because they're in a heavy Western Conference. I honestly think that they lost him. They just lost their superstar. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that whole conundrum with Leonard. So now we don't have a big baller brand with Ben today, but baseball's back. Baseball's back, but not fully. Just
Cool.
spring training.
Yeah, spring training.
So
Just to test the guys out. So, we got before spring training predictions, because it officially starts tomorrow.
or today.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant, sorry.
It starts today.
And, let's see. Over here in the American League Central, I got Cleveland winning it again.
He's very excited about this.
Yeah. And the East, I got New York. And the West, I got Houston. The
Yep.
wild cards, I have Boston and LA.
Hmm.
We go over to the National League. I got the Cubs taking the league again. Washington taking it again. LA taking it again. Then I
Yep.
got San Fran,
Ooh, San
And-
Fran.
St. Louis with the wild cards.
Did you take San Francisco just because of the Andrew McCutcheon move?
Well, look who else they got. They got Evan Longoria.
I mean, that's pretty good,
Yeah.
too.
Andy's pretty good. They're rushed.
They still
they're
got Buster
stacked.
Posey, yeah. So I mean, it's
So,
Do you think they're going to have a bounce
obviously-
back year?
Yeah, with
What-
Andrew McCutcheon and Evan Longoria. If they don't, I'll
Shocked.
actually be disappointed and shocked at the same time. Like,
what are your predictions for our hometown team
last place
Oh,
in
that's
the
great.
division, in the league or in the division?
division.
Okay.
I didn't do the leagues, but
Detroit.
and then I got Houston beating Washington in the World Series.
Wow.
Houston and Washington. Houston on a reach.
So are you saying
Yeah.
if Washington does make it to the World Series, you think Bryce Harper will stay?
No.
Before, so you think he'll
Really?
leave during free agency?
He'll leave. If he wins, he'll stay. If he loses, he'll leave.
So it's just World Series or bust for him. when it
Yeah,
comes.
pretty much.
Wow.
Everyone knows it too. Everyone knows if he doesn't win now, he'll leave. He's focusing this year on this season, but really he's focusing on the free agency, so he has to have a good year. And if Washington wants to keep them, I feel like they have to go and they have to win it
Hey.
this year.
I think Boston's going to have a deep run because they just signed J.D. Martinez and with the roster that they got.
I have them losing to Houston in the conference finals. They beat New York 4-3 in the divisional round.
Okay.
After
Okay.
beating LA in the wild card.
No, that's
Okay.
that's a good run.
I feel like they'll have a good run this year.
With you throwing out a prediction, I'm gonna throw out a prediction. Just the World Series, because it's early. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call Red Sox
Okay.
losing
Two.
the Dodgers.
Oh, you're back with the Dodgers, I
I could have told
see.
you that.
Yes, I am. I'm back with the
Talking
Dodgers.
about the Dodgers here. Corey Seager's winning the MVP this year.
Corey Seager.
Thank you.
Okay.
I got
Thank
Mike
you.
Trout in the AL.
Mm-hmm.
Cy Young. I swear, if he doesn't win it, I'm throwing hands at someone.
Who is
But
this, Ben?
Who is this?
Chris Sale needs to
Chris
win the Cy
Sale.
Young this year. If he does not, I swear we're going to have a problem because he is the most dominant left-handed pitcher in the game besides Clayton Kershaw.
He needs to have a good first and second half of seasons in. Because
Watch
what
out.
really hurt him
He
last
will,
season
because
was
he's
the
mad.
second half of the season.
He's mad about his second half of the season.
Heads up,
so,
Commissioner of Baseball.
Yeah. The LA Otani dude they got from Japan's winning Rookie of the Year in the AL.
The guy that can pitch and hit's pretty
Yeah.
good.
I actually think he's going to be good.
That's
And then
good to hear.
Darvish signing with the Cubs, I think that helps him, and he's going to win his first Cy Young in the NL.
Wow.
And then the NL, I don't know their rookies, so I just picked
What-
Victor Lopez of
What's your quick
Washington.
prediction?
Any prediction at all?
Yeah, like
Detroit
I-
will not be last. I'm just kidding.
oh, now that's a
Here's all
straight.
the teams.
I believe.
That's a fact that Detroit's going to be in last because we got nobody
No, we
anymore.
blew it up. We're going to be last. I want them to do good. I'll represent them. I'll pick them, but we're not going to do good.
No, we won't. We're too.
I think my bold prediction.
What?
I think the Yankees
What?
are going to make the World Series. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they will make the World Series.
Who are they losing? Who are they losing to?
I'd either say LA,
Yeah.
Chicago,
Oh no.
Or-
no. I'm
probably
sick-
those two, either LA or
sick of the
Chicago.
Cubs.
Unless another team comes up out of nowhere.
You never know.
You definitely never know with baseball.
So.
Yeah. That's why I like it.
Well, as in baseball, you never know who's going to come up, and basketball, you never know who's going to come up.
Basketball.
In the MAC girls tournament, you guys,
Suck Lakeview.
you guys predicted last week. You said Lakeview would blow out Marysville in the MAC girls blue gold tournament championship game.
What score was that?
What was the score?
Did you say?
60 to 25, right?
Does that sound
60 to
right?
20.
That
Yeah.
sounds right. Okay.
That's
I
not.
have a symbol for you guys, but I'm not allowed to use it.
But that's not the case. In fact, Marysville beat undefeated Lakeview 53 to 44 in the MAC championship game.
Wow, that was.
Little insight I heard, they did not have the 9'5" girl.
What?
They did not have her in that game. They had the other one, but
Wow,
they did not.
Her 8'7" best friend.
Yeah, they had her 8'7" best friend, but they did not have 9'5".
And that's the reason they lost.
I believe I'm not
Bet you that's why it
100%,
is.
not 100%, but I think she's injured. So.
Wow, that stinks.
Oh.
Good, there goes your championship.
Yep. 19. They ended up finishing 19-1.
That's still a
Fraser
good
lost to Marysville by 2 in the semifinals. They played Marine City and they won 43-36.
season. Mhm.
And Wednesday night they beat Lakeshore, capturing their 15th win of the year, 15-5, which is the best out of all the Fraser teams I've seen in recent years.
Yep, on senior night, they pulled it through. At least Vitale carried the team again, so, I mean, what do you
Her and
expect?
Danielle Gajewski.
Yeah, Gajewski is crazy.
Isabella Grillo on the boards, and Manny Sala, Sarah Shornack coming in, hitting a couple clutch buckets in there, put them over the
Yeah.
top. So, but now the state playoffs are Monday. First round's at Warren Woods Tower, District 19. Fraser's 15-5, like I said, against Mott, who's 2-18. If we lose this game,
Here we go. I'm doing it. 60 to 20.
oh,
Here we go
God.
again.
Well, it looks like we just lost the first round of the playoffs.
No, we didn't. We'll beat them. I don't know
Well,
that bad, but I know we'll beat them.
If we win that game,
We will win that game, not if.
well, we'll play.
Just knocked wood
Oh,
right
yeah,
there,
I
just in
would.
case.
We'll play Warren Cosno, who's 12-7.
We'll beat them too.
And if we win that one, we're in the district championship game.
Probably
Okay.
against
Well, now-
Regina.
Regina's 5-12,
I don't
which
know.
is unprecedented because Regina's always been winning, and I don't know why they're 5-12.
I mean,
It's
off
called-
season.
De La Salle and Regina. When it becomes the big games, they step up. So
Wow.
I'm saying it's Fraser Regina in the final.
Ooh.
And you know what? Just because I want to, Fraser's winning the district.
Wow.
Well, if they win the district, then they go on the regionals, and then it gets complicated from there. So
We'll see.
We'll bring it next week.
They'll probably all hate me, but they hate me anyway. So
So for the guys, we're playing at Romeo, then they're at home against Sterling Heights. Their season's pretty much done. I heard when I listened to you guys last week, heard you guys talking about Eric's 3.
Eric's 3, 100%.
Eric's 3, 100% from the field. Nice job, Eric. So their season's pretty much done. They're gonna be in the district. They're playing De La Salle in the first round. That's not going to be pretty.
we're gonna beat them.
I hope we beat him.
I don't think that I've.
I think it'll be a closer game than anyone else's.
Being honest, De La Salle's going to blow us out.
Everyone knows that, but I don't care. I'm still gonna go with we're gonna beat them.
Okay.
Yep. So the All-Star game, as we said earlier in the show, Team LeBron 148, Team Steph 145.
Great game in general. I thought it was
pretty
great.
entertaining.
You know LeBron took Steph out to dinner after that. And the timeout, he's like, "Yo, Steph, let me hit this 3-day. Go ahead and I'll take you out to dinner. I'll pay for it." And Steph goes, "All right, bro." He said, "I'll take the finals. You can have the All-Star game." LeBron was like, "Bet." That's exactly what happened. That's why Kyrie and him were laughing on the bench. That's what he told him.
Bet. So NBA Friday tonight. NBA's back. We got Boston at Detroit.
I will be at that game. All you viewers, catch me there, rooting for Detroit when they beat Boston.
Okay, I'm taking Detroit as well.
At Balder 846. That's me, guys.
Okay. Then we got the mess, the conundrum of San Antonio at Denver.
I mean, Denver's beaten them before. I'm sorry.
Or at home
That's
against
all
Denver,
I'm
excuse
saying.
me.
That's all I'm saying. I think. Just because
Who
Denver.
are you taking? Denver?
Denver.
I'm taking Denver as well. Just because we are falling apart, and I'm not giving up on them. Because they played Denver earlier. We have Rudy Gay back, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Gary Harris is on
I'm
fire.
flabbergasted. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Get used to it as they keep going downhill and keep going against them.
Wow.
Milwaukee at Toronto.
I mean, Toronto's now leading the East now. They're looking pretty dominant, and their bench
Milwaukee?
is... No, Toronto.
But I'm just saying, like, Milwaukee's.
Well, I mean, they're coming too, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
Toronto, everything about them so far is dominant, so I'm going to go with Toronto.
Toronto.
I don't like Canadians. Milwaukee.
Wow! Wow.
That's for the gold medal.
This goes back to hockey.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. And then we have Minnesota at Houston.
Jimmy!
He's referring to Jimmy Butler, I assume, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yep, okay.
The beard.
Houston is having a great season, but Minnesota's coming up to it. They're, the 4th seed now in the West, right? I assume somewhere 4th or 5th.
Yeah, around the,
I think Minnesota's going to upset them. I say Minnesota.
I'm thinking the beard.
The beard.
The beard. NHL. 32-20 Minnesota at the New York Rangers, who are 27-28.
Not going to lie, Minnesota's having a better season than I thought they would.
This is going to be a wild game.
I got to go.
Taking Minnesota.
Got
Yeah,
to
that
go.
was kinda
I'm
bad.
going Minnesota too.
Minnesota?
No, Rangers.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
okay.
Winnipeg 35-16 at St. Louis 34-23.
I'm going with the Blues.
Blues.
St. Louis.
Taking St. Louis.
Jets.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you. 33-19 San Jose at Chicago 26-27.
I mean, Chicago's a mess right now. I'm going to go with San Jose. I mean, look at what they've always been doing.
Who do you think?
You're going with Chicago, aren't you?
Blackhawks.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Let's
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Out of all these upsets, I'll get at least one right.
Yep. And 23-30 Vancouver at the dominant powerhouse of Las Vegas 40-16.
I've still got to pick Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah, right.
Just kidding, Vegas.
You can't go against Vegas.
I could, but
He could, but he doesn't want to.
Now, the last part of our agenda here today. The madness is almost here. It's almost here. Not quite yet, but it's almost here. Our March Madness show will be March 12th. We'll be filling out brackets
Ready for Duke to win.
about that. Newsflash, they're not winning.
We'll discuss this more when the time comes.
yeah,
But
what rank are you guys again?
what, 5th?
What ranks Michigan State again?
What, 2nd?
Yeah, so
It doesn't
point
matter about
taken.
the regular season, though.
Oh, well.
We're getting too far. Let's get back to
Yep. So let's get to this weekend's games coming up. We got Oklahoma State at Texas.
I mean, Oklahoma State, didn't they just upset Texas Tech?
Yes.
I feel like they're on a roll. I'm sorry, Ben, but not really. So, Oklahoma State.
Hey, guess what? Didn't Texas upset Oklahoma twice?
I'm not an Oklahoma
Hook
fan.
'em!
Oh.
I moved the table.
I'll take it, Texas.
I got some lone wolf then. All right.
Number 17, Michigan at Maryland.
I mean, okay.
Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Michigan. This is probably the best one of the weekend. Number 8, Kansas at number 6, Texas Tech.
I think
Jayhawks.
Kansas. I love Kansas right now.
I love Kansas too.
This is a hard one. And you guys both picked the Jayhawks, so
You're gonna take
You know
Texas
what I'm
Tech.
gonna do?
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Even though they're ranked higher right now.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't really
I'm just
care.
kidding.
Then we have Syracuse at Duke.
Duke.
Orange.
Thanks.
Orange.
No, you guys
Orange.
are rude.
Yeah,
Grace, do you
a little pre-March Madness upset for you, Brian. Just to
Grayson Allen is overrated.
he likes to trip people.
not anymore. He grew past
He's
it.
done it 5 times already.
He grew past it.
I don't care.
Did he do it any time this season?
He's done it 5 times already.
This season?
He's a tripper.
Not yet.
Not yet. Hasn't happened yet. Then.
Overrated.
It won't happen.
Overrated.
Let's wait till this happens when Duke
And-
wins, and I can laugh at all y'all faces.
There's only 2
hey,
of us.
Hey, I don't
One,
I don't
two,
know, I don't
yeah.
know about you, but I can't wait when Duke gets knocked out either in the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8.
I can't wait till they win in general.
And then we get the laugh in your face when State wins the national championship.
All right,
I
don't
can't
go that
wait
far
to laugh,
now.
man.
The only teams I'm worried about State getting upset by or beaten by is Nova.
Middle Tennessee.
Yep, that too.
Sorry, I had
Yes,
to throw
sir.
that one out there.
Anyway, Nova. I have to say Duke because I have to say Duke. Maybe Xavier, but with that, have potential here. This year in the tournament, I'm calling it right now.
Oh,
Xavier
yep.
number one. Xavier number 1 is going to play number 16 Florida Gulf Coast.
And
They are going to lose, and Florida Gulf Coast is going to be the first team ever as a 16 seed to beat a 1.
wow,
I'm calling it. I will fill it out on my bracket if the matchup occurs.
Hatworthy.
If the matchup occurs, because if they're playing State, State's got it.
Okay.
If they're playing Duke, Florida Gulf Coast has got it.
That's what you said against Middle Tennessee, and what happened?
That was a horrible.
Hey,
I
hey,
thought State was
hey,
going to win
newsflash.
too. I'm not going to lie. That was a horrible
hey,
bracket for me.
Newsflash, that was also 2 years ago. We're a better team now than we were. So,
They didn't have Miles Bridges.
I mean, just recap the games over the weekend. Nova surprisingly beat Xavier by a lot.
Surprisingly.
I thought Nova was going to
I
win all the
thought
time.
Xavier was going to win that.
Heck no, Nova went to town on them boys. I was at B-Dub smashing, and I watched that game.
Thank you, Ben,
Thank
for that news flash. We all need
It
And
was
to.
really good.
and as you said, Texas 77, Oklahoma 66.
I'm surprised they
We
won.
are 2-0 against Oklahoma.
You see what he did there, guys, with the 2?
2. Yeah.
Other way.
2?
You have the horns. You have to have the horns.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah.
Points.
And let's talk about real quick the epic comeback of Michigan State against Northwestern. Real quick, that was.
Do you realize how red Tom Izzo's face had to have been in that locker room when that happened?
He needed some water.
He probably needed a lot of water. I would have given it to him too.
I turned off the TV at
were mad?
halftime. No,
I'm not
because
gonna-
I was frustrated. I'm like, how can we? We can't play like this though. State cannot play like this in the Big Ten
You
or the
set
Big
a
Dance.
good ground first.
Because if they get down by 27 against just say I don't know who they would play.
A 3 seed.
Just say they play West Virginia.
Oh, that's
in
gonna be hard.
in the tournament or something like that, they're gonna lose. They will lose.
You're gonna say a seeded team, like a team that's ranked.
Yeah, like West Virginia, or if they put like Kansas or Clemson.
Kansas especially. Kansas is not gonna let
Kansas
them.
will run them over if they do that. But 27 points, the biggest comeback in Big Ten history,
I mean-
Michigan State history, Big Ten history alone. So they can't play like that. So and then West Virginia beat Kansas 77-69.
Not gonna lie, I did not think that would happen.
Michigan helped State out by beating Ohio State,
Mm-hmm.
74-62, and Duke by 9 over Clemson. It's just okay. It's Clemson.
They're
11th.
ranked.
Yeah, they're ranked, but
They're only good at football.
Thanks, Ben.
yeah,
I really need that right
Yeah.
now, man.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you, Ben. So, and we're out of time this week. So hopefully, don't crinkle your papers.
Just
Not
twirling.
yet. Just twirling. Hopefully we'll have Eric back next week.
The Hagernator.
So, and we have a full cast again as we discuss the Big Ten tournament because that's happening next week. The girls tournament. Recapping the Winter Olympics because they're coming to an end. So we'll be back next week, and as always, keep it fresh.
Big baller brand.